I know, but I want it to be clean. I don't want this episode to fucking...
Yo,
hey,
Jules, we recorded?
Deja vu. Why do I feel like we've done this before?
Jules is dying right now.
All right, so let's keep it real. We just had technical difficulties, and so we just did the intro, and we were in like 3 minutes, but something fucked up with our camera. So I said, start over.
Big intro, Snuck. Yo,
and Snuck was like,
That's
yo,
this is when you go, yo,
shit,
we're in a wrestling ring?
Oh, yeah. Yo, why are we in a wrestling ring, Snuck?
Snuck, you must be behind this, right?
You must be behind this, Snuck. Why are we in a wrestling ring?
You know it's because of me. It's because of today's guest, man. He's documented everything from his own journey to wrestling to hip hop to movies, actors, and everything in between. All around true definition of an entrepreneur.
He's also my main competition when it comes to taking pictures with celebrities.
Absolute facts.
I feel like him and I go. I feel like we go back and forth. Like I'll see him with someone, and then I'm like, fuck, I gotta get my game up.
Ice Cube one, I should rock.
Oh yeah, the Ice Cube one. All right, so would you say that's your
like
favorite?
My top three. I mean, easy. Like when people I want to meet, I'm just like, I would love to just share the space with Ice Cube. And
yo, we got Dante Luna.
Dante Luna, make some noise. That's what's up. My favorite picture of yours would probably be Sid Haig.
Sid was pretty cool. Sid was because he was scary. He's still scary to me.
R.I.P.
So it's just, I didn't know how. Man, rest in peace, Sid, for sure.
But yeah, talk a little bit about that.
Not because I was just scared of approaching him. Because it's like it's easier when I think it's harder when you really, really like and are crazy or a fan about that person's work.
That's true.
Because sometimes you have to ask yourself if you want to, if you want to cross that line.
Sometimes you don't. People say that. Sometimes you don't want to meet the people that you are really fans of because sometimes they're dicks. And that could ruin your whole fandom.
That's how I felt when I met Crazy Bone.
Really?
Because it was in such a small. It wasn't like this big thing. It was just me and Easy. And we were like gonna be in a hotel room with just Crazy Bone and a shorty, and I was like to the point where I didn't even want to tell my rap. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm always shook of coming off like that dude, and I just want to be a regular, real one. Like I want him to remember me and not be that dude that's like, yo, it's my fucking mixtape or some bullshit like that, But
so Dante, I started noticing Dante from doing music videos for artists out here, and then Dante, you've kind of snowballed, and now you've put out documentaries. And you're at all these conventions and interviewing all these celebrities. So we were just saying that Sid Haig is like one of the favorites. For anyone that don't know Sid Haig, Snuck, I don't know if you know, but he plays
that's the crazy
Spalding.
looking dude in all the Rob Zombie joints.
Yes,
right?
yes.
He has a lot of work. He has a lot of work. Like he has work for generations, through decades. But I know him as Captain Spaulding.
Exactly. I would say the majority of people know him as.
That's like because you guys are like horror heads. Like that's the shit. Like Dante's a unique guest because he shares Stiz's love of horror, and he shares my love of wrestling.
Best of both worlds,
and then an
baby.
Overall love of hip hop and music and shit in general.
So real quick, can you just
Dante?
Yo, I just have to say too that your intro was fire. I don't know if you wrote that. Like he's documented his own journey and other people. I'm like, god damn, bro.
Take Snuck. I'm real with this podcast.
Dante,
Boston Music Award nominee Stuck on Stuff.
That's right. That's coming up soon, by the way.
Next week.
Can you tell me just a little bit about the Sid Haig interview and like what that was like, and because I was like, damn, bro, like that's awesome.
Sid, I interviewed him a few different times. I think I say 3 times. But that first time, I believe, was at Rhode Island Comic-Con, and that's a relationship I've had for a while. But it wasn't Rhode Island Comic-Con, it was TerraCon, but the same people that own Rhode Island Comic-Con. So I was given the opportunity just to create in those spaces. I guess they know me for creating, just exclusives, and that they don't know how I get. They just let me do my thing, which is great. It gives me a lot of freedom.
Yeah, that's dope.
It's hard, it was hard, but it's it was my introduction to them. So the Sid Haig interview, meeting Sid, I had to I had to compose myself and just introduce myself, and I guess when you people are regular no matter what.
People are people.
And I have to remind myself that some people have a really dope catalog that the world got to experience. And then, you know, even if people are still getting to know Captain Spaulding, I have love and respect for, I have a lot of reverence for Captain Spaulding. So meeting for him, I had to approach him with respect, with love, with honor. And then
that's dope. Like you're a fan.
I feel like Dante comes off like real like personable too, and he doesn't come off like kind of like I don't know like if you watch Dante's any of Dante's documentaries like the Try Harder one or whatever, like though like when you just walk up to people, they all seem like mad cool and inviting. But I think that's how you come off too. Though.
That's a huge part of it. That's definitely a huge part is like how you come off.
I try and see the person in the performance. I mean, a lot of people, if we fall in love with these performances, you know, we gotta remind ourselves these are performances that we fall in love with.
Right.
You know,
so true.
Yeah, not like Karen Parsons, like she's totally opposite of Hillary Banks, like who she is in real life. She's really smart. She's intellectual. You know.
You know Hillary Banks?
Yo, that's a really good relationship. So I met her. Yeah.
Who's Hillary Banks? I'm sorry.
Whoa, Stiz, absolute flag on the field, yo.
Oh, look who's calling. Our last the kid that was on our last episode, Hickey, who was stunting out here making me look stupid. Real quick, so last week, Dante, we got onto paying for pussy, and I was like, yo, listen, I'm not above paying for pussy. I'm gonna keep it real. Like if we're all out and we all threw down on strippers, and the girl was like, oh, $100 for a blowjob and whatever, right? So the kid that we had on, he's also like
crazy man.
Stiz is wild.
So he's also
Stiz
like
is mad at Hickey for fronting because Hickey on the show was like, nah, I would never do that.
Right? So he's making me look foolish on the show. So then later on, we were at lunch, and I looked at him and I was like, man, you are a lying ass motherfucker, bro, talking about you front. And then he just laughed. He's like, ah. And that actually, you know what? I want to ask you about that. Like, you know, people on camera, do you find that you get the real person, or do you find that, you know, people kind of stay in like character or something, you know? Like
it all depends on the space and the context. Like some people who are like flown into town to do meet and greet appearances, they put their cap on the moment they get to the airport.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
They're gonna start signing, you know. So it's just like, you know, it all depends. So that's why my questions are life questions. I like to start with life questions. I always talk about my uncle who passed away. Then that makes them drop their guard entirely and stop thinking about whatever they know about themselves, to really listen and to see if they are listening, you know, because my uncle was an artist that really didn't believe in himself, you know. He was one of the most talented people I've ever met in my life, but you know, he died for me talented and insecure. His name is David, and his drawings on my hand. So that's like the premise for most of my philosophical questions. I really try and get the core of the person. But there are people that you can't break them.
Yeah.
They are rehearsed like to the fucking core, where it's just like you ask them anything and it's just like, that's not even the question.
Yeah.
And,
more like actors or like wrestlers that stay in character, or like more.
But that's a reflection of a lot of things for me. For me, it's just that person's probably not happy with what they're doing, or they're just so worked to the point where it's like, I don't know what their schedule look like. I don't know where they're at when I'm in the, you know, context of that question. So it's just like you got to think about the space as well. I think about that as well.
I had like an internal like fight with myself about that very thing. Like when Stiz wanted to start up a podcast a couple years ago. Like the superstar.
How
snuck,
real you wanted to get.
The superstar snuck, because the way I write is very like, I'm cooler than you. I'm
braggadocious.
I'm better than you at rapping. I'm this and I'm that.
And it helps that you are, but
it helps that all those things are very true, by the way. But that's a snuck moment, right? But like the Steven shit is like, I was like, how much Steven do I give? I'm like, all right, I think because of some of the bars I say, they might know I'm a wrestling dog. That's one little thing.
that he's obsessed with reality television.
Yeah, bad.
But you can
over
package
time,
your charisma real easy. Like you can package your charisma real easy. So it's just like how I've always known you as someone with a really nasty pen, but also an amazing performer. So it's just like being you packaging your personality this way and packaging at least your performance this way. To me, it's just like it's not out the ordinary, and it's exciting for me to experience because you know, you can definitely package your charisma in this type of format, which I haven't fully experienced. You know, so it's just like it's exciting for me. I have such reverence for y'all music because music music I have such respect for. My grandfather's a pastor, so I grew up in church. So I grew up front row seat watching musicians my whole life. Like people, I used to help out with drums, even though I can't understand drums for the life of me. Like I don't understand how people make their feet and their hands move at the same time.
I'm learning piano right now, and it's
you know what I mean? So it's just like I grew up
the coordination of it, right?
Yeah.
So like when I see a drum set, I respect it because I don't understand it, even though I can put it together, I can assemble it. But it's just like I respect a guitar player who can play. So it's just like I love music. I love what y'all do. Even this microphone here is just like you guys.
Setup.
This is like even I've been in the booth with you once, like filming and that, and I respect the booth so much that it scares me when I'm filming in the booth because I don't want to fuck up that take. I don't want to fuck up something. Like I don't know what it took for you to get to that performance where you deliver that verse that might live on for forever.
Right.
And there's gonna be a click in it because I had to switch on my camera. Like that to me, like even little technical stuff like that, but I respect the space so much.
That's something that separates you from like so many other people out here. Just the respect that you have, and just kind of what we were talking about earlier about trying to get the people's real selves. We have an episode, I don't know how many episodes back, but it's called 3. Fuck Billy Zane, and the reason it's called Fuck Billy Zane is because I was at HorrorCon, I believe, this year in Framingham, and Billy Zane was there, who I was like, at first, I'm like, why the fuck is Billy Zane? All I could think about was like Titanic. I'm like, why is he at a horror convention? But I remember Demon Night. You remember Demon Night?
The Phantom.
That's right.
So he was one of the first people to put on a suit.
It's a Tales from the Crypt movie. He's what?
No, I mean, he's one of the first people to do that too. Like the Phantom has its own. I mean, it was a terrible movie.
Yeah.
But it has his own. He's his own category for that performance that has him like relevant in crazy pop culture events for life.
But absolute pretentious dick, bro. Now, have you ever sat with him?
Yeah, I sat with Billy Zane before.
Okay. All right, so I gotta get this.
So yeah, I want to know, like, what did you think of Billy Zane?
Because this went in on him on Stuck on Stuff before.
Yeah, so. I mean,
he seemed very full of himself to me.
He changed my whole setup on my camera instantly. Here's what I had my initial impression. Like I had my camera set up. I had everything I wanted to do, and he completely changed my cameras, changed my lights, changed my mic, and he was just like, "Now we're ready." And I looked at it,
that's Billy Zane,
and it was beautiful. I'm just like, "Fuck it, let's go."
Was it? Now, come on, be honest. Did he make it better?
He did make it. He enhanced that for a second, so that put more pressure on me to have the conversation because I couldn't just give him bullshit questions.
Yeah.
And I got a lot of shit for this interview because that interview was supposed to be just 3 or 4 questions, but we had a conversation backstage.
He likes to
when
talk.
they were trying to transition.
Yeah. Billy Zane likes to hear Billy Zane.
But it's hard for me to judge him as a person because that's like because that was a moment where he's working and I'm running up on him asking for 15 minutes of his life.
Yeah. Now we're quick to judge on Stuck on Stuff.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So, exactly. So I mean, for me, I understand it completely, and I hear all that, and I hear that from everybody about anybody. So it's just like, everybody gets it. Whether it's the character, I can't even say character. The artist that does like the 5 those drawings. Like, yo, you made this dude do 5 different drawings, and you're still not paying him because you're not happy. I'm like, yo, that artist will never get paid for those attempts. I'm like, that's fuckery to me. So it's like that to me, it was just like I want to get paid for all my attempts. So it's like Comic-Con's taught me a lot too about how to package your art and sell your art. I see it as a producer's gold mine for me. When I walk into a Comic-Con, I'm the last person to think about money. I don't think about money at all. I started thinking about money when I started spending money. I'm just like, damn, I want to go in there and buy my shit. But I don't think about making money. I don't think about the taking money from the people, from the foot traffic. The foot traffic is a great experience for the people, for the community. I like shows that don't have a lot of foot traffic because my interviews come out better. I have better conversations, more meaningful conversations. So creatively, I benefit from a show that doesn't do so well. But it's not good for the business.
Makes sense, though.
But it's not good for the business, for that promoter. But my intention is to go in there and create something fly that looks good for life. So no matter what your show looks like, I'm gonna find the gold in certain moments and make sure that no matter what, that you have some value in what you invested, and that no matter if you walk the floor and you didn't meet your attendance numbers, it doesn't matter. We created conversations that'll go on for forever.
Yeah, for sure. Snuck, have you ever been to a convention?
No, but I do want to go specifically just for the wrestling shit.
All right, I'm gonna
because I don't do none of the other virgin shit. I don't do superheroes. I don't do none of the shit.
This year, I'm taking you to a convention. I went to Rhode Island Comic Con for the first time. That was my first convention. I think 3 years ago.
That was your first Comic Con ever.
I
met Robert Englund. Met Freddy Krueger. Got my glove
I want to bring
signed.
that up because y'all both met Englund, and y'all did you get a glove signed too? This is number one. This is what they call a deadhead.
Fanatic. Oh, a Fredhead.
A Fredhead.
Yeah.
And I had
a Fredhead.
a slashed pillow signed.
Ooh, that's dope.
Right. I peeped that on your documentary.
I used to love the Ninja Turtles, but as a kid, I remember Freddy Krueger and Ninja Turtles at the same time. So I remember no matter how much I loved the Ninja Turtles, Freddy was always way more terrifying than however exciting the Turtles made me feel. So I found the Ninja Turtles pillow. It was on sale for like $5. I'm like, yo, this is a steal, bro.
Yeah.
So I grabbed that and I slashed it while I was waiting in line to meet him.
That's dope.
Me and Joseph Rivers, we went out to Philadelphia, and we were supposed to meet him a Friday, and then that line got capped. I'm like, yo, it got capped, and it was still like 2 hours left. I'm like, man, the line gotta be crazy. So we came back the next morning, and to meet him the first time, it was just like, it took about 8 hours to get to him. Yeah,
I waited in line for like 4 hours probably.
Yeah, and he's one of those people where I stand in line like a fan. I stand like everybody else.
Yeah, that's how I was.
This is number one guy, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that was, and he's dope because he loves Freddie as much as everybody else.
Yeah, that's true.
He's doing the voice for everybody. He shakes 10,000 people's hand.
Yeah.
And he gives everybody a little bit of himself, which is something.
1,000%. Do you find, so Snuck, at these conventions, like, you know how I love memorabilia, right?
Yeah.
Like signed stuff and
gloves
shit like
and all
that.
this shit.
It's just full of this shit. I mean, literally, when he was saying, I try not to spend money because it's fucking insane.
Yeah.
So, do you find yourself like dropping, trying to get a lot of memorabilia?
It would have to be something really, really important to me. Like sometimes I go into conventions, I'm just like, yo, I'm not spending shit. I'm going there, I'm not spending $1. But then you see an exact replica of fucking the mask.
Yeah.
A Jim Carrey mask. I'm like, yo, how much for the mask? It's like $40. I'm gonna take that mask off.
It's mine, baby.
I'm taking it home with me. It's like I wasn't planning on spending money, but you gave me an exact replica of the fucking mask.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like that gives me so much energy.
Jim Carrey shit? Yeah, I'd be all over that.
I bought that shit in 20 seconds. I don't know how long I had it between I seen it and I owned it. It was like...
What's the coolest piece of memorabilia you have?
That's a tough one.
Mine would probably be my signed Freddy glove. Oh, actually, and I have a legit Elm Street sign, like a legit street sign that I stole, that I've been getting. Anybody who's been in any of those films and that I meet, I'm having them sign it. So I got Heather Langenkamp, Robert Englund, the chick who played Alice, like another girl or something. So I got like 4 or 5 on there.
This is a huge fan of that last one.
Yeah. But what would you say your coolest piece of memorabilia is?
It sucks, but I mean, it was hard to say my own backpack. I have a backpack that I fucking took with me everywhere. My first camera.
I know that backpack. Yeah, I know that backpack. Whoa, what's going on? Oh no! This has been that's been an issue.
Jules is definitely getting downgraded this week.
Yeah, I know.
After I put out that video giving him mad props a few weeks back,
that's what it
thanking
is,
him.
bro.
I was like, yo, Stuck on Stuff, we don't get nominated for a Boston Music Award without the engineer.
Yeah.
Jules gave him mad love.
I think we're gonna have to dock his pay
and then
for
2
today.
intros and a fucked up thing later.
No, that's all love.
So the backpack, yeah, I know that backpack.
I won't tell you what I learned.
All the pictures I've seen.
I haven't been yet in person from the Comic Cons or the conventions in general, but like you immediately think like, oh, just a bunch of fucking dorks and virgins, fucking weirdos walking around, right? But there's bad bitches in there too, right? And they dress up and they're like.
I fell in love with a couple Harley Quinns, bro.
I didn't notice that nerd bitches could be bad bitches too,
bro. There is nothing like that.
I can't even talk about it because it's like it's so sensitive. I can't even talk about it. I can't because the cosplay culture is so something that's so.
It is. It's serious.
It's you know. Of
How's
course,
it serious? Like they take it serious?
Yeah, I mean, people want to go out there and they come to these shows as these characters and they want to present it as these presentations of art. So it's easier to.
And they stay in character. Or?
For most of them, I say most of them. They go there with well intentions. Do people go there half naked and
facts? Yes.
And dress how they want to dress? Cool, and that's that's cool for them, and that works for people, and there's a market for it. And
that works for me.
That's part of the demographics.
If they sell beer and them bitches are there, that works for me.
I'm telling you, bro. I saw a couple bad Harley Quinns, bro.
There's always a bad Harley Quinn.
There's enough of them.
Yeah.
So talk a little bit about your documentary, Try Harder. It's out now. It's on YouTube. You can go watch that. What was like the inspiration behind that, and how did you put that together? Like like physically, like like not just the inspiration, but like literally doing it. Like how did you make that happen?
I think that project was just a product of just loving life. To me, I live my life, and people say, "Why you do all these amazing things?" I'm just like, I'm really just doing what I want to do, And that project was like about 2 years in the making, but I didn't know I was making it, You
were just kind of gathering footage.
I was having empowering conversations with people who I consider influencers, and I was also showing the behind the scenes of my life and what I was doing in terms of organizing events and organizing became another way of expressing myself as well outside of making videos, working on events and getting people together and enhancing other people's events. The Puerto Rican Festival, being able to add cosplay to their event, add more, creative ideas to what they already had going on. That was a good flex. And then El Mundo Family Festival, being able to add entertainment to what they already had going on.
I feel like you bring elements of shit that wouldn't normally be at a particular event.
He brought fucking wrestling to Fenway Park.
Yeah, exactly.
Who does that?
Yeah.
I never even fucking heard, like, what?
And those are all dots aligning. I got a little piece of paper in 4th grade. They said I like my top 3 things I wanted to be in life was first baseman for the Red Sox, second was a WWE champion, and the third was like a movie star. And I didn't get to be any of those 3, but putting on a wrestling show at Fenway Park and then filming a show.
Dang.
I'm just like, I got pretty
all
close.
The above.
Yeah,
I got
bro.
pretty close.
You're in it. It's kind of similar to like what I'm doing. Like, I was rapping for a little bit, and then the radio thing kind of presented itself. And it's like, I've just been following it, but you're in that world, bro. Like, you know what I mean?
For me, it's just, when I see you, I've always saw you as a musician, somebody in the music world, period. And radio, it adds to it, The conversation element to music is crazy. Being able to have conversations about stories, that adds to the presentation of that product and the life of that product and that person, and those stories, So, seeing you do like radio, I'm just like that fits, because that fits, So no matter how I interpret you, so it's just like, and I respect, how different artists want to translate their expressions, because I think, being creative and expressing yourself is an essential function to being a human being.
Yeah, for sure.
So no matter what it is, some people find themselves sculpting and painting and, whatever it is that gets you to get it out of your head is the powerful thing, Radio is another format. I think radio is even powerful because it's one of the first. It's like being able to communicate what was going on from far away. Radio was really powerful. People connected with radio, So it has just as much respect for it as like the printing press, being able to create information and connect with people,
You know about these Snuck? Do you know about the War of the Worlds thing on radio? Do you know about that? So
no,
like
not yet.
In like the 50s or some shit, like when radio was kind of at its infancy, they had this guy, I forget his name, but he wrote that book, The War of the Worlds. There's a movie, Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
It's about aliens coming and taking over.
Yeah.
So he was gonna do this performance piece where he read his book on air, on the radio, right? And broadcasted it. Not a lot of people got the message, so they turned on the radio, and it was him saying, "The aliens have invaded.
Shit,
They're coming. There's
I think I
there's
have heard of
people.
that
There's
before.
blah blah blah." It caused fucking pandemonium.
So people start locking down in their basements and shit.
Pandemonium.
that's
Yeah.
And back
it's
then, there was no way to
there
find
was
out,
no
oh,
way. You
shit.
didn't
You
jump
was
on
just-
Twitter and
Right.
yeah, man.
That's
So it
fascinating
literally
times,
caused.
man.
It is crazy, right?
How people communicate it without mass communication. Like how do you...
Even just 20 years ago.
How does information ever concrete? Where is the last point that you says this is absolutely got to be
Right.
true?
Yeah.
Like who gives you that?
Can we get some tea? All right, we need some tea. What is like the worst interview that you've done, or someone that you were like, ah, man.
See, I was gonna ask who's the biggest dick.
Yeah.
But earlier, you had already brought up your man Billy Zane.
But he kind of
wasn't
had a
dick to
different
Dante.
experience.
There's
Yeah.
got, especially meeting wrestlers too and actors. There's
tough.
got to be somebody that was a dick that you didn't think was gonna be.
I would say, oh man, I can't even say it in here. Can I say it? I would say Ric Flair.
Really?
Whoa,
Flair.
word? Because he seems like he's always on, like because he knows cameras is always on him and shit.
Ric Flair will never remember me, ever. So I introduced myself over and over to him, over and over. I'm introduced myself maybe 7 times.
All different times you're talking, or the same?
Every single time, a different time.
So it just
different
shows you that
place.
he's blanked out. He don't even pay attention.
Well, that guy probably meets
he
fucking...
meets people all
Exactly,
day, every
yeah.
day.
Every
He's
day,
Ric
all
fucking
day.
Flair.
Yeah.
I love him getting a
but
Ric Flair story right
I know,
now.
I love Ric Flair. I love Ric Flair so much, but yo, man, listen, he does not fuck with me at all.
That's
Really?
what's tough about
That's
me and dudes that you
funny.
love, man.
Yo,
That shit
no,
sucks.
That's funny.
I introduce myself every single time, in a different way, in the same way, but
What
in
do
a
you use
different
different
approach.
words every time?
But he has agreed to 4 out of like 7 different attempts to try to get him on camera talking about his ideas, talking about his life. And I've never used any of them.
Really?
I never used any of them because it was really dry. But I love Ric Flair, and so
Copy and paste all 7 of them shits together.
But
and
the last time I went was the funniest time because it was a team story. Everybody on my team just started laughing because I interviewed him about life, and I thought it wasn't a great interview. I don't think I'll ever show anybody.
Now I gotta see this shit.
But I walked away, and then the last shooter behind me, because I heard something, and I'm like, what did Flair say? Flair was just like, that's the stupidest shit I've ever heard in my life.
Oh, no.
Was it a particular question?
I don't know what the fuck I asked him, man. I asked him about, I don't know what I asked him, man.
That should have ruined your whole week right there.
Yeah, nah, I was dying. But it was, for me, it was
that's
just
funny,
like, I thought it was funny because you never know what to get from Flair anyways,
Right.
That's probably how I was feeling in that moment. And even I went to try and, I spoke to him again after that, but that moment was pretty funny for me, But to me, I'll never forget it because it happened in front of everybody. We were all laughing.
That's the stupidest shit.
Yeah.
What was the
Yeah,
quote?
that was the stupidest question I've ever heard in my life.
Oh, my
That's
Lord.
amazing. Yo, Stiz, Dante's a big tattoo guy too, as you can tell.
Yeah.
But like,
He got
what are
his
some?
hands.
What are some of like your
He got his
favorite
hands.
pieces and shit? Because Dante don't strike me as a dude that just get like a cross or some shit.
Nah.
Like his shit got
Yeah, you
meaning
get to-
behind it
yeah,
and shit. You know what I
definitely.
mean?
1,000%.
All my tattoos all of them have deep meaning. Every
Right.
single one of them. I don't know if I have a favorite. I say my daughter's my favorite. 'Cause
Gotta be.
She upscaled. She outstaged Lucille Ball. I went into this tattoo session with a Lucille Ball portrait I was going to do on my whole forearm. But I sat down and I was in love with this image of my daughter making this funny face. And I'm just like, yo, nobody taught her that. And I was obsessed with this idea of my daughter wanting to make someone laugh. And I'm just like, who taught her that that's a funny face? Where did she get that from? I was
Right.
obsessed with this picture of my daughter. And so when I sat there in the chair and he put the stencil down, I'm like, yo, I didn't need another half hour because I think I have another idea. He's like, Dante, you gotta let me know. All right, cool. Just give me another minute. And we went to the computer and I enlarged the image. I was just like, well, what do you think? He was like, yeah, let's work on that. So I was just like, I just want a black and white portrait of my daughter. And then
Shit was amazing.
Who's your artist?
Yeah.
Your man or?
it was my boy B. He passed away a few years ago. So he did most of my work. My boy Bayoan Cortez from the Bronx. He's a Puerto Rican artist. And there's Felix Bayoan Cortez. I say his name a lot because I feel like you can die twice in life. You can die when you're in the grave,
straight
and then
up,
you die
straight
when
up.
people stop saying your name.
Straight up.
I noticed you got the Disney logo as well.
Yeah, so I got a lot of tattoos with people with like controversial pasts and crazy because for me, I got a lot of different faces. I like portraits. I have at least 20 different eyeballs on my body, which is
No
crazy
shit.
to me. Yeah, which I noticed. I was sitting at home looking at counting the different eyeballs I have on me. I'm like, damn, I got a lot of eyeballs on me. But my Disney logo, I wanted to tattoo the letter D, and I was thinking about the coolest font. I think about I couldn't find a font, and
Definitely the most
definitely
iconic.
Yeah.
I grabbed the Disney D. I was just like, because Disney for me, my first impression of Disney, he was like a master storyteller, and he was a master, no matter what that meant, and even if he was buying stories or inheriting stories and retelling them, I respect his work, but it's tough because as an artist we start asking ourselves how much of a person's personal life affects their work they give to the world.
Yeah.
You know, because, you know, I got Biggie tattooed, and Biggie, you know, he was, you know, he beat up his like side girl like the week before he got killed. So it's just like we don't know that story. You know, Big Pun. We know about his, you know, domestic abuse background, which is crazy. I have such reverence for Big Pun. You know, and I have Big Pun on my shoulder. You know, so it's just like, and Disney is just like, he's a proven racist. So it's just like, you know, I didn't know that when I got it tattooed, but it doesn't take away from, you know, how it influenced me as a person, because I can't take back how he influenced me. You know what I mean?
We have that discussion about you able to separate, you know what I'm saying?
Art from the artist. And I feel you, because I got Freddie tatted on me, and he murders people like in their sleep.
But that's different.
But that's not him, dog. That's not the real dude, yo. Yo, this is kayfabe with the horror shit. Loves it. Yo, back on the
I mean, no, I was on the train once.
I
was on the train once, and there was this lady reading a book. It said Picasso, the creator, the destroyer. And I'm sitting there holding the bar, and the train shaking. I'm sitting there, I'm just like, the creator, the destroyer. I'm like, excuse me. I had to ask about this book. Man, what do you mean, the destroyer? He's like, no, Picasso was one of the most destructive people around to the people that were close enough to love him. You know, people that were close enough to love Picasso fucking hated Picasso. They hated him. He was a fucking asshole. They didn't like him. But why don't we know that about him? Because his fucking work lasted longer than what anything he was able to do with his breath.
Right.
That's powerful. Like, you know, that's powerful. You can have museums, owners, millionaires, billionaires fighting over his work, presenting his work for X amount of time.
Well, dude, that could have just been some random piece of shit that was just nasty.
Whose family couldn't fuck with him. Like, that's crazy. You know what I mean? So like, so we gotta really think about, you know, I think I'm really hyper conscious of trying to, you know, be someone that people can love when they remember too.
And we've had this conversation on Stuck on Stuff like plenty of times, like when dudes get in trouble or just because it's super PC now, or anything that happens with dudes, and we're like, yo, like, if we stop banning or all these people, like, we're not gonna have literally anybody to listen to or to watch, because you could find something with anybody. Like, I don't really fuck with that.
Here's a specific thing, and it's kind of stuff. It happened this week, I believe. Louis C.K. was in.
Oh, is he back yet? Because I'm just sitting here waiting. I cannot wait till he comes back. I don't care if he jerks off.
He was in like Germany, or like he was like overseas. I think it was Israel. He was in Israel, and he said that, he said, quote, I would rather be in the Holocaust than be in New York City right now.
Wow.
And that went crazy.
He's saying, like, because of how PC everything is.
Well,
and shit. It sucks for a comedian even worse.
Him too, especially because he's still not accepted yet. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
And so
it's been like 2 years. I thought he would have been back by now.
Nah, there's still a whole faction of people who think want him canceled.
Over under 2 more years before he gets a gigantic Netflix special that I watch every second of.
I don't know.
I mean,
I think I'll take the over.
I'm going under.
Because it's already been a couple years, and it just doesn't seem to. I don't think he will ever get back to that same place that he was before this whole thing broke.
Nah, all it takes is one Netflix special for him.
Comedians take risks. They take all kinds of risks with that stage, going out there and trying to be personal. Be personal with people. At the same time, also trying to deliver a performance. But when you hit at a root of something that pisses a lot of people off, I think you ruin that opportunity to stand on the stage with that same amount of energy, that same kind of energy, with openness of being able to accept what you have to say. You know, and it takes more than an apology to get through that shit.
Who's on Dante's bucket list of people that you haven't met or want to meet? Or
Jim Carrey.
Ooh, yeah, that's
number one for me, probably actor-wise.
Really, Jim Carrey?
Actor-wise, that's my guy. Yeah.
No shit.
I don't know how I'll be able to compose myself. I don't know what the fuck I would say.
Yeah.
Has that happened to you? Now, you were saying it a little bit with Sid Haig. Like, so for instance, Snuck was telling me, so I work on the morning show, the sports show now, and Brady calls in every Monday, and I get to answer the phone.
That's fucking nuts.
And I'm like, yo, Snuck was saying, like, yo, I don't know if I could do it. Like, I don't know if I could say, like, you know.
Because Sid's not being a crazy sports dude like that, and I'm just a crazy Patriots Brady
He's
guy.
ahead.
That's crazy.
Every Monday, hello, and it's to the point now where I think he be saying, like, does he say Stiz?
Oh, he says Stan now. Yeah, he'll say
like,
Stiz. If I'm like WEI, this is Stiz. He's like, hey Stiz, it's Tom.
It's Tom. He says, what the fuck, son? I'm shitting in my pants if he says that shit on the phone to me.
Has there been like a specific person that you know, besides Sid Haig, has there been anyone else that you were like, oh fuck, man, like this is crazy? And it's a little different with Dante too, because you're interviewing these people.
Yeah.
Sometimes with the
He's
radio,
working.
I'm not on. You know, I'm not fucking interviewing them. Greg is, or
Right.
you know, they're going on the show. I'm kind of just in the background, whatever. I'm meeting them and shit. So I don't fan out too much. But has there been someone that you were like, fuck, man, like I'm super nervous right now. Like I'm super fucking like.
Yeah, without a shadow of a
crazy.
doubt, I would say Bret the Hitman Hart.
Ooh,
You know what I
big
mean?
one.
that was my favorite wrestler.
And
when I was
I've
a kid.
interviewed him a few times, and no matter what, it's always tricky trying to compose myself to approach him. You know?
Why? Now you guys can kind of fill me in. Why is Bret in like not cool with the WWE? Did something happen?
He's
there?
cool nowadays.
No, you know,
Oh, they're cool now?
He makes money. Yeah,
They're cool
they
nowadays.
work.
They get money. Yeah, he got to probably. I'm assuming he has a Legends deal, which means he can do. whatever.
He could. Yeah. I mean, see, I don't know the details, but you know, I know he definitely makes WWE money.
And then wasn't there like an incident or something? Like it's called like the something incident.
Yeah, the
Hall of
Montreal
Fame.
screw job.
The Montreal screw job.
Yeah.
Now what was that? Like,
90.
the Hall of
97.
Fame, he got tackled. The Montreal Screwjob.
Oh,
that
yeah,
was the
Hall of
time
Fame, he
when-
got tackled,
Yeah,
too, yeah.
yeah. But
wait, what?
in the Hall of Fame, he got tackled by a
Like
crazy
last
ass
year?
fan.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and this is like now, so like he's had like a stroke or whatever the fuck he's got going on. He has some medical shit going on, so
And
he's not.
he rubbed it off. His impromptu skills are crazy.
Yeah, he did it.
He
yeah.
rubbed off, and he was like, "I was just about to talk about the days, the WCW days."
Yeah.
And it was a little bit like that right there.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
right.
good. You got to be able to
Yeah.
roll with the punches.
That shit happens 20 years
was
ago. That
dope,
dude's
man.
pretzeled up real quick in the sharpshooter though.
So when you sit down with Bret the Hitman Hart, like, are those first couple questions like a little awkward, or like, and then you kind of like ease into it and you find your rhythm, or
It's like Chris Farley's like, remember when you did the
when you were
sharpshooter?
like- yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah, it's tough. I save my fan questions for last.
That's smart.
I think that's
yeah.
super. Yeah, that's super smart that you
Yeah.
lead in with like the life kind of philosophical,
Yep.
kind of loosen them up.
Yeah, because I want to hear story first, because if at the end of the day that interview gets cut short, I at least got them talking about what they're fucking afraid of.
Yeah.
You know, what they're scared of. Before I said, what did it feel like on set of...
Right.
I don't want anything you can potentially find in a newspaper somewhere.
Exactly.
That's a very.
You know.
I like that.
Shit like
I'm
that,
gonna borrow
everyone's
that
gonna
from
ask
you.
them.
Yeah.
I want them to pour their heart out about something, or I want them to teach me something about themselves as a person. I'm obsessed with the human experience as well. You know, especially if these are performers that we're like influenced by. You know, Robert Englund is one of the. You know, I interviewed him twice.
I was so jealous.
Yeah, no, that was dope. And I think one of those times you was this close to being there. Like, it was this close where it could have lined up. Where it was just like I think it was your first convention.
Oh yeah, that
was
we
the first
almost
time I
linked.
interviewed. It was
Yeah,
this
yeah.
close where it was just like it was like maybe a 6 or 7 hour window where it was just like it could have lined up. You could have been standing right there for that. For me, it was
Did
just.
you go this year? I'm pretty sure he was there this year again.
Yeah, he was there this year, but this year I wasn't as involved.
Yeah.
You know, I had a lot going on. I didn't get to put as much.
Do you
energy into the show.
freestyle the questions, or do you pre-write them? And if you do pre-write them, do you have that sheet in front of you, or do you like memorize? the questions?
95% of the time I freestyle it.
No shit.
Because I want to have a good conversation, you know.
Yeah.
So it's different when someone has time to prep for a question.
Yeah,
then
for
they
sure.
can put themselves in the state of mind of answering that question. I don't like prepared questions because I don't want a prepared answer. I want to ask you how you feel and then see how you react to what I'm talking about.
That's dope, man.
And that's really genuine, because when I take myself out of those interviews and you hear this person talking about what this art means to them, or what this piece of work means to them, or you know what their fears are, you just hear them talking about like in the 3rd grade. I'm like, damn, that's where I wanted to start, in the 3rd grade, you know. So that fans who are crazy about has a following or for this person, you know, they can start it. They can get the meat and potatoes of what he wants to say, you know. But it was interviewing a musician where I took myself out of the interview for the first time. I interviewed Lou Armstrong, and that was the first time. This was like 11 years ago. I took myself out of the interview when I edited it, and the first thing you hear is, "My name Lou Armstrong." I was just like, "Yo, that sounds dope."
Yeah,
is dope.
I noticed you
Yeah,
did that with
that
the
is dope.
little mini docs you were doing, like with DJ Deadeye and myself.
Yeah, so that came afterwards, but that had the that Luam song helped build the format, but first term interview, that was part of that early wave.
Right, yeah. You could tell you were on that shit like early, like taking yourself out of it.
Well, music videos was the way I started, and I love music videos because it forces you to create something from scratch. I love your music videos. Your shot selections are really dope. I mean, for the people, just your productions when you put things together. I love Lunch Table. That shit was really dope.
Lunch Table's dope. Shout out Nick Padini. We got new shit about to drop.
And I'm obsessed with 100 bars like that. That track is crazy.
Good look.
But music videos was like a really dope place for me to create from scratch, to take someone else's song. But thing is, the more I had respect for music, the more I became more reserved about taking on music projects, because I don't want to fuck that song up, because that song is hours, years, life of work. And then if my bad visual representation of that song could destroy that attempt at getting that song to the world, so I have such respect for music now, but it wasn't always there when I started. When I started, it was business. Not really. I made my first video out of love. That video did well, and the first time I heard how much for a video was after that video.
Yeah.
So it's just like, how much for a video? I'm like, $500. They were like, D-Friday. I'm just like, yo, bro, we need a camera. I need a computer. Because I was editing and filming with everybody's shit, but not my own.
Yeah.
But that's how I made my first couple hundred videos. I was borrowing everything until I bought my first camera. That's why that backpack was important.
Yeah.
Because that was my first camera backpack, and I had it signed by everybody, by different people I met.
So
is that how much you're up to? Like a couple hundred videos?
Bro, I've made at least a couple thousand. Like, I've deleted couples to hundreds of videos. Like, videos are no longer on the internet. I have years of
You deleted
work.
more shit than you shot.
Seriously.
When I started my YouTube account, YouTube was 2 years old, and I had 100 videos out that first year.
He was on it early.
Yeah. And then, because the idea of on-demand media cracked my head open.
Yeah.
Being able to show you a video at any given point, that to me was fucking amazing.
Yeah, that is a crazy fucking
because I'd be in the airport, and I'd be like, this is a video I made in Boston. So this is somebody who's from Chicago watching a video I made in Boston from his phone. I'm like, yo, that's powerful.
It is.
So I focused on putting productions on the internet and putting on YouTube. And then I started answering those questions of how much for a video, which turned on the business side of me first, because my eBay account was more popular than my YouTube account. My eBay account was still, had me a power seller. I was a power seller for a long time. I was always selling stuff. That's how I paid for college. I finished my bachelor's degree at 20 years old because I had an eBay business that was...
That's dope. I never knew that. I never knew that,
Yeah, I paid for college. My bachelor's degree, I finished at 20 years old because I had an eBay business that was successful. I was able to finish my bachelor's degree and just give it to my mom. I still haven't seen it. I haven't seen my bachelor's...
Always been a hustler.
But then with music... But here's the thing, like music changed my life, but it's always been there. I've always been present. I just didn't think I'd have an active role because I can't touch an instrument. I took one guitar lesson as a kid, took one piano lesson. I just couldn't do it. I tried, but I had a love for it. I didn't know where my place was. Making music videos and hearing musicians being like, yo, I was just like, there's my place.
Yeah, that's dope.
I helped take that story to the next level. But then doing the behind the scenes to those videos, I started making documentaries. And I realized people were wanting more documentaries and the music videos. And I was just like, damn, I could be selling this too. Yeah. And I was making so many behind the scenes and capturing people's stories that I didn't think I could package it. And I didn't see what I had. I didn't know what I had right in front of me until I started working on the documentary series where I met y'all. And that video with Term was the first time anything I ever made was on World Star. And at the time, World Star is just
That's huge.
That was huge.
That was
being able
huge.
to have something that people were just to look at common people talking about a product, like something you created, that was cool.
It was something people would check every day.
Oh, man.
Like how they would check their
That's
IG
funny.
now.
I saw a tweet the other day, and it said that Nah Right era was special. And I don't know, Nah Right was a blog. And like you said, Snuck, literally.
Different now.
Every day when I got up, that was the first thing that I did.
Right.
I went to NahRight.com and I, would look at what they posted. I mean, every fucking day.
But is there
It's
still
funny how
fuel in the
shit comes
tank with
and
them?
goes.
Are they still working?
I don't know. I mean, you could probably go to NahRight.com. It might be there. But, the blogs just aren't what they were 10 years ago.
Since Dante kind of opened the door with the whole Bret Hart shit, you mind if I just dork out for like a minute
please
or two?
Do.
All right. I'm curious, Dante Luna, what is your current your opinion right now on like the current WWE product? I'll include NXT with that, and then also we think about AEW as well.
All right, so WWE lost me for 2 seconds for the first time, and I don't know. I've been watching Monday Night Raw and SmackDown.
It's tough. I've been hanging on, but it's tough.
I've been watching it every week for, I would say, definitely before my daughter was, my whole life, but consistently since before my daughter was born. So more than the last 10 years, I've been up to date with Raw and SmackDown. But for the first time ever, I fell off after they switched to Fox because Fox doesn't have the on-demand for SmackDown anymore. I can't watch it live.
Yeah.
Like, I just know I
DVR.
I watch it on demand. I watch everything on demand because Hulu had everything. Hulu had Raw and SmackDown.
Fox don't have. Why doesn't Fox have SmackDown on demand?
Yeah, it's not available. For me, it's not available. For me, I'm not able to watch SmackDown on the way I used to.
Probably because Ric Flair.
I mean, you can still see the show. You can
Flair's
still
like,
watch
Dante Luna ain't fucking watching our shit.
Probably fucking Flair. So, I mean, I haven't been able to watch it the way you can. There's still ways you can watch anything.
Yeah,
but
you can watch
me,
it.
it's just like.
You have the network?
I have the network. I do.
If
I
you
think they
want
put
it-
them on there,
if
but
you
then it's probably
want
like a week or two late, and by then it's
I
like.
fell off by watching the consistent stories. I'm so behind.
Don't worry, they ain't giving no consistent stories.
Exactly. I can't even watch Survivor Series yet because I don't know what happened leading up to it.
Yeah, and you gotta know before you watch the shit.
I'm not gonna attempt Survivor Series until I know what the hell's going on, and I'm not there yet. What I think about the current product
Overall.
They're experienced craftsmen and being able to take a night and turn it into. It's hard to not respect the fact that they can spit fire, primetime TV 3 times a week now, and that's so hard to even wrap my head around how they pull it off and how they do it so consistently.
Crazy.
And even their bad numbers are good numbers.
Right.
But
somebody like me that falls off.
Now we're just talking about numbers, but we're talking about product wise.
Fuck numbers,
I'm more of a fan of the Attitude Era type of rating when people were over the top. But at the same time, I really love the performance of the women performers and women wrestling. That's something that definitely needed a spotlight.
They've been killing it for like 2 years straight now.
Yeah, I mean,
Charlotte Flair, the GOAT. She's my GOAT for females.
It's taking on. I had the video game in my hand and I sold it, and I just didn't. I was just brokenhearted about it. I was just like, man, it's just I don't feel it.
Yeah, what video games? Like 2K?
Yeah, I bought 2K. I bought the deluxe edition too, so I spent extra bread on it. And the thing is, I played it once, and I was just like, I'm not gonna play this no more.
What console?
PS4.
Okay.
See, it's tough being a head, like being a real wrestling head. Like you never missed a Raw since you were little, and you stay watching it. Like, cause when they have bad drought, I would call it a drought or whatever. Like when they're going through bad times, even when like 80-90% of the product is whack, there's still like a Bray Wyatt or something in there where like there's a couple segments that make it worth watching.
Yeah.
3 fucking hours. I know me, I blast through 2 of them hours because I DVR the shit.
They're so consistent that you can hate a story this week, but watch something new next week.
Exactly.
So it's just like
because and now they're listening, so like, oh fuck, everyone hates this shit on Twitter. We might switch it up this week. Now you got to watch and see if they're gonna listen to us, the fans.
That's
and shit.
funny.
Like,
That's cool. That's something that was never. When I was a wrestling fan, that was never, Twitter wasn't around.
And then AEW chants during Raw and shit like that. Now, what do you think about AEW? What do you think about AEW?
AEW for me is really, really inspiring. It's just really inspiring to see a group of people who want to do what the fuck they want to do.
And doing it their way and
doing
shit.
it their way.
Yeah.
That shit is so dope to me. And that to me will forever be inspiring. To be able to have a fresh idea and a fresh billionaire to fucking back you up, that's pretty dope, bro. Like that's
what they had when they had Ted Turner in them.
But at the same time, it's just like we've had decades to really reflect on that scenario, on what somebody with just endless money and bad direction and bad quarterbacking can do.
Yeah.
So it's just
you
like
can become WCW real quick.
We've really had decades. They've had decades. People who are part of it had decades to reflect on it. But what we're seeing is the birth of a startup company that is doing great numbers on their own, telling stories on their own, so.
To the point where WWE had to, like, kind of acknowledge them. You know how normally they'll pretend that, like, the other ones don't exist?
Yeah.
Because, they're just going to swallow them up eventually.
How did they
But
acknowledge
WWE has slowly been allowing other, dropping other independent promotions for the last, like, 3 or 4
That's
years.
true. That's
slowly,
true. Slowly, because they used to, you could never even, like,
How did they
mention
do
them and
that?
shit.
How did they?
I forget.
They'll say, like,
Was it on
Ring
Twitter
of
or
Honor
something?
star, like, they'll bring up, like, a ring, they'll mention.
Oh, I think, night one when they went head-to-head on the Raw show with NXT, I think that when AEW actually won in the ratings, and I think the official WWE account tweeted something out, like, almost like a congratulatory shit.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
To try
That's
to seem
cool.
like the big man, even on the low, they was trying to crush them up.
For years, it was taboo. They would never hear
Yeah.
them talk about other companies at all.
Thank you for allowing me
of
to
course,
virgin
man.
out for a second
Co-host.
on the wrestling talk.
Yo, no plans or desires or whatever to get into feature films?
No, that's where my heart is. I think everything I've done to this point is to prepare myself for taking on that type of idea.
Yeah.
My heart is to make feature films, but what I know now about making videos and working on photos and working on stories full time is that I won't be able to make a movie if I can't hear a movie. If I can't make a movie for a blind person, if he can't hear it, close his eyes, and really experience the story, I'm not taking on that movie. So I haven't really, found this. There's different stories I fell in love with, but ones that made me figure it out, not yet. So there's a bunch of different ideas I would love to develop, but the number one thing would be sound for me. So as much as my background is in film, I have such respect for sound to the point where it'll cripple any effort until I figure it out. Because if I don't have sound down, I don't have nothing. So to see him set up sound the way he did and have it be clean like that, to me, that's it. I have such respect for him. It's like a Jedi master to me, because I don't know how to get to this sound. I have like a million questions for him. But for me, it's just like I want to take on the film when I know how they do sound on the field, like Survivor, the show Survivor. Like, I don't know how they do sound on that show. I love Survivor. It's one of my favorite shows.
Yeah.
So I was actually gonna ask you, because I asked most people, what's their like fucking guilty pleasure or like reality show, like horrible TV that you actually fuck with, that people might not think Dante fucks with?
The only reality TV show that I watch is Survivor. I fucking love Survivor.
I watched season 1 when it debuted.
I watched
And then
every.
that
I
was
watched
it.
every season.
That's been like what, 20 years or something?
Yeah,
But I binge
watched
watched every season after watching like season 20 through now up to date. And when I seen them all the seasons on Hulu, I was like, word, I gotta go in again. So I've binge watched.
I watched Challenge on MTV. That's like similar to Survivor, except not really.
Yeah, no, it's a similar kind of concept.
And that's like
really.
my chicken soup for me. And Fresh Prince is like my chicken soup. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Whenever that's on, I could keep that on.
Yeah.
Nah,
that's
I
on,
bought
it's on.
all the DVDs the moment it came out on Amazon. It was in 2005. They came
There's
out on
people
DVD.
that say, I've heard someone on the radio once say that show didn't hold up. And I like, when I watch that shit, I'm like, nah, this shit holds
yes,
up,
it
man. Like,
absolutely
I don't get
does.
it.
It packed a
That's
lot of
fucking
culture
bullshit.
too, man.
Yeah.
It packed a lot of culture. It packed,
Yeah.
for me, it had a lot of influence on me.
R.I.P. Phil Avery.
What about album or artist that you fuck with that people maybe wouldn't think Dante Luna would fuck with?
Man, right now, my favorite album, I think, is fucking Perfect. That I can't stop listening to. I listen to at least once a day right now. Port of Miami, too.
Port of Miami, Rick Ross?
Rick Ross, Port of Miami, too.
Rick Ross super slept on with making albums.
Yeah.
He makes
that
albums.
That was a full story from beginning to end.
Like a movie, yeah.
I fucking love it. That one and Anuel's last album. Anuel's last album I'm obsessed with.
Who's that?
Anuel.
I don't know. Spanish
He's
shit?
a Puerto Rican rapper, yeah.
Oh, Puerto Rican rapper?
Yeah.
You fuck with Puerto Rican rap?
Yeah, no, of course, man. So it's like Anuel. Now more than ever, it's just, I'm finding I loved Tego in high school. Tego, because he reminded me of 50. He was like, you can hear the gangster rap. You can hear his approach, his delivery.
So I know him, yeah.
Yeah, I fuck with Tego. But lately I've been listening to a lot of Spanish music. But Anuel, that album.
Who you rocking with for any like new artists? If any. I know some people just stick in their lane and like, nope, only listening to 2000s and shit.
It's tough because I don't judge anybody until I hear their album. So it's just like I listen to tracks, but I can have full opinions on Nicki after hearing her album. I don't like any of her albums, but she has a lot of dope singles, a lot of dope productions. Sure. Like I just don't like her albums. I love Eminem style albums where it's just like it's the story. Maybe because the horror person in me that loves that extra sound there. That I love what you put those words. I love the scenario you put your words in. You know, I love the world you created for me when I close my eyes and put the headphones on. Yeah. You know what I mean? And albums are something I'm really picky on, you know.
But we're coming into a time now where albums ain't really a thing. It's more about singles and shit.
And that's a tough game for people like me. Yeah, because I'm a big Young M.A. fan. I wasn't a big fan. Like I love her. I love the records, like the freestyles, but I didn't like the album. Right. And, you know, I was just like, damn, the album wasn't not that great to me.
I heard she shut down the Middle East the other night.
Yeah, that shit looked lit as fuck. See, I seen clips from that shit.
Yeah, nah. See, I wasn't. I mean, I even know about that till after. So I was like, damn.
Well, let's get into it then. Let's get into some stuff.
Yeah. Is there any stuff?
What stuff happened this week? Well, I don't even know. It's officially Mariah Carey season.
She just broke another record. Yeah. Her All I Want for Christmas.
Basically every November she hits the charts again. Yeah, so pretty much. She probably breaks every record as far as that goes.
Pretty much.
There's no way she owns that record though. There's like that record.
What do you mean? That's her record. She wrote it and did everything.
No way. She wrote that record?
She wrote that record.
That's not a cover?
Greatest female singer, songwriter, arranger, and producer of all time. What are we talking about right now?
She didn't write
She wrote All I Want for Christmas.
No way.
She wrote it.
No way.
She wrote everything on that Christmas album.
I don't think she
Dog, them royalties is through the roof for that shit.
Wow.
We're gonna
Google who wrote All I Want for Christmas.
I don't give her enough credit that she wrote that.
Dog, she writes almost everything.
I thought that was a cover that she just...
I'm pretty sure.
She wrote Hero. You don't think she can write All I Want for fucking Christmas?
All right, so Mariah Carey, Walter Affenseif.
Her name's on there first? Thank you.
It is.
Wow.
Anyways, tis the season.
Songwriter Mariah Carey.
It's MC season.
He's obsessed. That's like one of his favorite singers of all time.
After chilling with Wilder last week, you told us all.
Deontay Wilder, I said put all your money on Deontay.
He said put all your money on Wilder, and I watched it that night, and you were right. Ortiz got knocked the fuck out.
Yep.
Did you watch? I sent you a link.
Yes, I did. I did watch.
Working for the radio station, chilling with celebrities. They'd be like, "Yo, Snuck, you got that link?" Send that shit right to his phone.
Yo, that knockout Snuck was brutal, right? I'm trying to find the video because I got a bomb squad for Boston, but I don't know where it is.
Stiz got the bomb squad.
Yeah, that was pretty dope. But yeah, that knockout was crazy, and I'm pretty sure he's going to be fighting Tyson Fury in February.
Dope.
Also, Conor McGregor. Are you into boxing or UFC?
I was gonna say Conor's coming back,
I know those
right?
names. I mean, I know Conor and Tyson.
Conor's coming back in January. Yes. Are they flying you out there, Stiz, to cover that shit? I'm trying to grab
I am hoping
a plane seat over here.
Yes, I am definitely hoping that's gonna happen. 1,000%, bro. I definitely want to see Conor.
When you guys put up a tree, I put my shit up last night.
Did you? See, I'm a single guy and I live alone, so I might not even get a tree.
Yeah, nah, I haven't bought a tree in a while. I haven't bought trees, nah. I bought my grandma's tree for a while. So.
I don't buy no trees. I just keep the fake one I bought 6 years ago. And it works great every year.
Oh, man, but you don't get that smell.
You're a dork. We talked about this shit last year at this exact time.
Did we?
I was like, fake tree or real tree?
Definitely real tree.
Are you real tree?
Definitely
real
tree.
Yeah.
I was real tree growing up.
It's a mess, but it's worth it.
Yeah, the smell.
I was real tree growing up, but it's 2019. I don't have time for the sap on my new carpets, the fucking this, the that. I just got a puppy too. I don't want to eat in the shit.
Fuckery.
And then also, I told you this last year, Stiz, because now that we have internet and all shit, I be reading shit like there's fucking microscopic ass little ass bugs on them fucking trees. And all you're doing when you bring that tree in your crib is
bringing the microscopic
fucking bringing the bugs in, you're bringing everything.
The germaphobe in me now as an adult that think about stuff like that. I'm like, damn, I never thought about that.
You never think about it, right? Till you read it and you're like, oh shit.
On the trees.
There's obviously bugs on a fucking tree, right? You cut it and you just bring it right in the crib.
I mean, once you take the fucking oxygen out, once you take it out the ground, right? Who still lives in it, you know?
Hey, isn't there something that you wanted to bust my balls about, Snuck?
Oh, I don't know. Which thing?
There was something that I did a couple days ago that you texted me and you were like, yo, I'm busting your fucking balls for this on the next episode.
I know exactly what the fuck you're talking about. Cause you do this shit all the time, so now I gotta bring it to the show now. Stiz, yo, you will do videos. I seen it was on your story. You did a video of fucking
the Thanksgiving plate.
He's holding a plate and he's like, the video's
pro
like,
move.
all right, yo, this is if you don't really like somebody's food or whatever, this is kind of this is the way you put it in. And you know how you flip it and put it so people can't see how much you ate or whatever. And literally 5 minutes before I watched that video, scrolling on my IG, I see a meme that says, this how you get rid of this shit without hurting nobody's feelings. And it was just a hand with a plate down like that. So I hit him immediately on the story. I'm like, yo, Stiz, stop stealing all of your shit from memes because I know you're doing it. And he had previously a couple weeks ago got called out on some comedian shit or whatever.
Yeah, the Gary Goldman thing.
Stiz will tweet out a quote like if it's his. Like, dog, you're not brilliant like that. I know you. So where the fuck did you get? Which meme did you steal?
I'm famous for that. If I see a meme, I just tweet it out. But the Thanksgiving plate one, I like, bro, everyone does that. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but you didn't think about it till you saw that meme.
Yeah, exactly. But then I thought about it.
And then you thought,
I was like, yeah, that's true, bro.
That's true. Let me make a video and pretend that it's my words. That shit is like Michael Scott when he says the Michael Jordan quote or whatever, and it says like Michael Jordan, and then under it says Michael Scott.
That's funny.
You still got to get onto The Office.
I know. I never watched a single episode of The Office. And Lizzo got sued for fucking stealing from memes.
Oh, that's right.
Yep.
You told me that.
Yep.
Yo, I know you got the got the Disney tat. We were talking about that earlier. Do you fuck with the Disney Plus shit? Because someone like me, I don't think there's anything on there for me.
Yeah, I mean, I love stories, period. There's a lot of stories there that inspired me when I was younger. I mean, I love Star Wars, period.
I was going to say, because it's not just like little kid Disney movies. It's Star Wars, which
The
I don't fuck with.
Mandalorian.
And like all this shit I don't fuck with. I'm like, I don't think that's for me.
Well, I fuck with Marvel. I fuck with Pixar. You know, my uncle's an animator. So as a kid, he'd take us to animated films.
Yep.
He took us to all the animated films, and he took us to Toy Story 2 or 3 times for everyone that came out. I mean, not just the first one, and Lion King. When Lion King came out twice, he took us to both of us.
You seen the new one?
Live action?
Yeah, I seen the live action. So I think any story that people are in love with, you know, even if you're not in love with it, deserve a chance to get retold. You know?
It's a dope story.
It's a dope story, and I don't see it getting told. I don't see it not getting told more than once. You know, we've seen it on Broadway.
Right.
You know, how many the real Romeo and Juliet that inspired the story lived like 700 years ago. So how many different times have we told that story of Romeo and Juliet?
Yeah, you can only tell it so many different ways and shit.
But you know, people find their way of telling that story.
Yeah.
So I think that's what they're there for. You know,
Right.
we're not gonna get tired of the Native American and the Indian story, and then the Buffalo story. Like it's just like that's the story that represents that. So it's just like. You know, for me, you know, the new Lion Kings and remakes, and you know, I'm cool with it. As you know,
I liked it. I mean, it was the exact same movie as the first, just looked dope and it looked different.
But it's also the.
But I fuck with the first movie. So
I also fuck with people coming up with new ideas. You know, when you see a whole year full of sequels, and that means a year before everybody was thinking the same shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, which I don't think Netflix is gonna hurt at all, because Netflix is pushing new stories. They're creating their own stories.
I watched Irishman last night. Finally,
Oh,
I haven't touched it yet.
Let's talk about that.
It took me 2 days, but I purposely.
I haven't watched it yet. I watched like 10 minutes of it, and the story was all right, but fucking Robert De Niro, like the CGI making him look young is fucking weird.
It is weird, but it looks
weird.
mad real though. It's like crazy.
What? His eyes, he looks like a fucking alien.
Nah, you
bro.
gotta watch the movie.
And then
man.
that scene where he's kicking the guy.
So that
it's
scene
so horrible.
was noticeable to me.
It's so horrible.
But other than that one scene, I didn't really have no problems
You're
with
killing me, man.
I'm telling you, bro. I'll
Yo,
be
the
curious to get your take.
story, super
I heard
dope.
the story's fire.
Dog, it's Scorsese. It's crazy.
I'm like him in the sense that, like, even from a horror background, that I think about the aesthetics like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think about the world you created for me and what you want me to believe.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got somebody who I know for sure is half Mario and half Robert De Niro. Like, that would upset me as a viewer. And
I'm telling you, wait
it's
till you see it.
distracting to me. And the thing is, even being a creative person, I can separate myself and be in the audience and really sit in the seat and enjoy the story. But something like that would bother me.
Exactly. That's exactly how I felt watching it. And I was zoned into the story.
I haven't seen it yet.
And then
I'm
that one part came on. It's just a part where he kicks a dude, but he's moving like a 70-year-old kicking a dude.
Yeah, don't give me too much.
No, that's it. That's it.
bad.
There's a lot of kicking. There's a lot of kicking dudes and shit. It's a fucking some mob shit basically. But I thought that shit was really dope. Don't go after your fucking bullshit weirdo friends on your Facebook comments and shit. Just fucking watch shit. It's a fucking amazing movie.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it. I'll watch it this week.
Simpsons is coming to an end, says the show's composer. Dante, were you a big Simpsons guy?
Yes, as the show's composer, so that
Composer, too.
As
That's
the composer, so who knows?
One of the best.
I gotta believe it because that's
animated show of
you
all
never
time.
hear like Simpsons are ending rumors. I never heard that.
Yeah.
You just assume they're always gonna come back.
I think they've talked about it before. If they've talked about it, it's now it's easier to spread the story faster, and negativity has never been more popular.
Oh boy,
so it's just like it's a bigger stage from being able to spread a story like that. It comes from the composer. Just a couple of years ago, we didn't have Skinner neither. Like we didn't have the voice who had like 50 characters, and he came back a couple of weeks later.
Yeah.
So it's just like that's a family. Those are family issues. That to me is like if there's like little stories like that's not coming from the creator and the person who quarterbacks the show, then there's family issues going on potentially that something like that would go out. When I read the article, when I read it at all, it just wasn't strong enough for me to feel like it's true.
Let's say it's true. Did they wait too long?
No, because they're an artwork that transforms with time. So they apply their artwork to any context.
They've always been relevant.
They can come back to life in 10 years and totally be relevant if we can still have the voices. But thing is, the voice acting has become such an amazing weapon that you can have a diehard fan give you Bart Simpson right now, who's just a fan.
Exactly the same, right?
So it's just like, as long as, those voices are ones, I don't know what the rights are to being able to do those voices again.
It's all the same original people doing them shits right now? Do we know that?
Most of them, yeah.
I interviewed, we interviewed
Lisa, right?
Nancy Cartwright. No, she does Bart.
Oh, Bart, but yeah,
Wow.
that's right.
That's badass.
Yeah, that's a dope interview.
That's
did,
badass.
Yeah, she was super cool.
That's legendary.
Yep.
Like
Who's the creator of that? Matt Groening?
Yeah, Groening, yeah.
I fell off. Let's be honest. Most people our age, they kind of fell off for
I
like the
haven't
earlier
watched The
seasons. Like
Simpsons.
the fact that they're still popping right now, they must have ratings enough to keep the show on.
Oh, for sure.
As a fan, you have different relationships with the product, right? So as a fan, you have two different audiences, right? One is the everyday audience, that audience who watches it every week and who's there, who actually, there's a person who only can watch it on Tuesdays at this time, who might not be a fan. So it's like they have the audience, the live audience they have to handle, and then they have the fans who need to go back to that catalog and watch it again. That's why they didn't put out DVDs the way they put them out. They were strategic about selling out so that they could sell out. They were really smart with how they've maintained and protected the story, like a Disney format with, controlling the number of copies that you had access to that story. Because I can imagine that's how it was, but there was like one book that was in all the lands, and you had to get to that one book.
It's crazy, right?
You know what I'm saying? So it's just like when you think about a story being protected like that, I'm like, just because that could sell 10 million records doesn't mean we're gonna make 10 million. We're gonna make 500,000 and let people go crazy for 10 years. And then when I drop 10 million, I'm gonna sell out instantly. You know what I mean? So that format is crazy.
Shout out to your screensaver, Sasha Banks. I just noticed.
Oh yeah, Sasha Banks and my daughter. Banks and my daughter.
I was just gonna say, so you know Sasha Banks, obviously.
No, I don't. So she's familiar to the area. Her name is Mercedes, and Sasha Banks is somebody who's important to the area. Right.
She came up. Did she start wrestling out here?
Yeah, so she started wrestling out here. She made a name for herself in the area. So a lot of people here have really close relationships to her.
What, and now she's like big time?
Sasha Banks, from WWE.
Yeah, she has a lot of historic matches for WWE. She was a women's champion, but she has a lot of first matches, and she's captivating, man. So she was able, and my daughter was obsessed with Sasha Banks.
My daughter loves her right now.
So I brought her to see Sasha Banks at a New York Comic-Con. So I only went to New York. It was the first time when me and her going to New York. I would have loved to have taken her on the Fang Hua, but we don't have that like that no more.
No more Fang Hua for 15.
I would love to, taking her like the old route, just be like, we're going to New York, but now we're just gonna drive, leave the car in the Bronx, take the train down to Manhattan, and then fuck up the Comic-Con, and then go back to the Bronx. And I leave my car in the Bronx. I don't park in Manhattan ever.
Oh, it's horrible.
That would add 2 hours to everything. So I leave my car on the top of the Bronx. And I love Manhattan to death, but I'm just not leaving my car there.
Shout out Dante Luna, though, for taking his daughter right to see Sasha Banks. I take my daughter to Walmart to buy her a Sasha Banks thing, and we go back to the crib and play with
Dante
this.
takes her to meet fucking Sasha.
That's the only The only time she watched wrestling with me was when it was a women wrestling.
That's how I sucked my daughter in.
Yeah.
So I'm like, gee, she loves the girls. So I'm like, that's what it is.
Her name is Isabella, so she's dying to meet the Bella twins. So I'm waiting for them to start working again. They do meet and greets every now and then. So there'll be an opportunity for that at some point.
Snuck, was there any other stuff? Anything else?
I have a bunch of stuff happened. I know, Jules. I know we're right about where we're at. But are you gonna be? Is it gonna be too crazy if I ask Dante Luna for a shot story?
You know my opinion on the shark stories.
Just hates when I do this shit.
What's a shark story? A shark story?
Shart. S-H-A-R-T.
S-H-A-R-T. A shark.
I need
story.
your best personal shart story.
So what's a shark story?
You went to fight. Man, Bo knows.
Shout out Bo in the building.
You had went to fight, but it was more than a fight. It was a shot.
I was sitting in the
no.
I was sitting in the carny.
Oh no!
I knew Dante would give
I
a
was
good
sitting
one.
in the carny, right? I was sitting in the carny, and they had me in the waiting room. It was like 45 minutes in, and there was this dude that came in, and he was like, "I'm fucking dying. I fucking really hurts." And the lady's just like, 1 minute, sir. And she's taking her sweet ass time. The guy goes, "Oh, I'm fucking dying. And fucking I can't feel And then the lady's just like, "Sir, give me a moment." And he's just like, "It's the worst pain ever. I'm fucking dying right now." And I'm sitting there, I'm laughing so hard that I farted and shitted on myself.
Oh my lord!
Because this guy is fucking dying. This guy is fucking dying at the counter, and the lady does not fucking move a muscle.
Like she could care less. She's like all composed
Lady,
and shit.
It's the worst pain ever. I'm fucking dying.
And that shit was funny.
Literally, that voice needs to be like a fucking a cartoon.
Yo, that was
That's
funny.
Boston, though. That's Boston.
It was funny to the point where you shouted right in the fucking
shit on myself.
Anybody go Black Friday shopping?
Nah, dog.
Anybody
It's a
do
little
it?
thing called Cyber Monday.
Cyber
Cyber
Monday,
fucking
yeah.
December
Yeah,
nowadays.
I
you know what I'm saying?
I do print orders on Black Fridays because you can get crazy orders, like orders that should cost me $500 will cost me $100.
That
on
is
Black
really
Yeah.
print orders, like just print like business cards and envelopes, special envelopes, like little stuff. You know, I do my calendar. I design my own calendar every year.
That's pretty cool.
And
That's cool. What do you use? Pictures or like?
I use my own photos for my trips.
That's dope. Yeah, that's super dope.
But that's the future of what I want to package later. So, but for now, I use photos that like that. Well, this year's calendar was just different beaches I went to in different countries. You know.
Oh, that's cool.
So I wanna explore more.
What's
everybody,
the next? Go.
Everybody have a good Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that's right. Thanksgiving.
I worked from 3 to 7, so I didn't really do shit.
This
I was on air, so that was still kind of
This
cool.
is the shit with Thanksgiving, right? For me, anyway, and it's the same with Christmas. Like, I got like fucking like 3 families essentially. I'm wiped up now too. So right, and but my family there's 2 of them because you know how that goes, right? Step side, the other side, the regular side, and now I have a wifey side. So like, it's all about fucking where the fuck am I going, right? And to not fucking. I'm done with the going 3-4 different places in one day shit. I said that for this Christmas. I'm like, we're picking one family and we're chilling there and we're getting drunk and we're not drunk driving to the next spot. Like we're chilling. Yeah. That's my mostly shit with Thanksgiving and Christmas is trying to navigate through all the fucking families that I have now.
Yeah.
You deal with that shit or you just post up with your daughter? How's it work?
Yeah, man. So I guess with my daughter, we always try to figure out. I have a good work relationship with her mother. So
that's a beautiful thing.
It's like we try to figure out who could give her the best holiday experience. Because if I'm overworked, if I'm worked, I know I'm not. Even if I take a time out, if I break, I won't be able to give her my all, and that sucks to me when I'm in, like overwhelmed like that. And then her mom would give her an experience, but I understand what you mean. I have a big family, a huge family, so it's always like
it can't be everywhere.
Yeah, my cousin was just like she mentioned like, oh, I wasn't invited, and my sister was just like, yo, I'm never invited, and I still go every year. So it's just like, we have a big family. My grandfather had 21 brothers and sisters, so it's just
mine had 13. I thought that was crazy. 21.
On my
Puerto Rico.
Dominican side, my father had 14 brothers and sisters. So it's like,
Wow.
I grew up in a big family, which makes it easier for me to.
Yeah, the Puerto Rican side does not fuck around.
Speaking of holidays and Puerto Ricans, man, I was sipping on some coquito last night.
They're starting banging that shit already?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, your boy was.
Yeah, no, that shit put me to sleep.
And
that
it
was
tastes
my
so
Thanksgiving.
good that I was just like, fucking, I drank
And
a
the
shit
dangerous
ton
part
of
about it
it.
is that if when it's made well, it doesn't hit you right away.
Yeah.
So you think like, damn, this is a sweet ass.
Yep.
It almost tastes like tanning oil. It smells like tanning oil.
Oh, it tasted like
but
dessert.
but you're just sitting at it and you're just sipping at it. It's like cinnamon eggnog type.
Yeah.
And it's just.
Oh, it's
15
so good.
minutes later, you hear salsa and your leg starts moving.
That's great.
Uncontrollably moving.
I woke up this morning in fully dressed. I had just passed out.
So
on
that's
the
how you
couch.
got bent last night from Coquito, and then you wake up.
And I was drinking beer too.
Okay.
You know, I was at.
Because Stiz don't be getting it in like that no more. So I feel like I'm actually saying that every week now.
I know.
Are you back
I
into
think
getting it in? Or?
I have been drinking a little bit more.
I always preface it every week. I'm like, nah, but Stiz don't really drink like that. And I realized it's like 3 weeks in a row. I'm like, yo, Stiz, I had to like text him, like, yo, we got a show today.
Yeah.
Dante Luna.
I was.
He's like,
I'm
oh
definitely
man, I
playing injured.
almost was gonna bang out today. I'm like, no, you're not. Bro. We got a show in the fucking wrestling ring.
I was
dog.
fucking hungover this morning for sure.
Can you briefly shout out where we are right now?
We're at the Belltime Club Training Center. in
Belltime
Wakefield.
Club Training Center in
Yeah,
Wakefield.
Thank you to Bo for letting us come record here. And
So this is the
Dante.
future. This is the future for me. I mean, being able to put everything I've learned business-wise and what I'm learning, what I've learned art-wise, to be able to add fuel to something that I believe in. Like creatively, I feel, this is like the future for me. So it's important for me to have this interview here, because I'm gonna spend a lot more time doing wrestling shows and definitely in the inner city. So there's a lot of city work that I'm doing in Boston, where I'm trying to bring more wrestling shows to the inner city, and more shows, period.
Yeah.
But wrestling is going to be my crown jewel. Like, I would love to do a poetry show. I would love to do a hip-hop show. And I would love to do it. I can't die before without doing an improv comedy show. Like people just taking shit from the audience and just doing sketch comedy.
Freestyles.
Woo! That's my favorite kind of show. Like, people will be like, yo, these are 5 characters. Give me 5 occupations. Boom, boom, boom. All right, and they act out. But
Bill Burr freestyles a
I
lot.
love
He
that
was
shit.
freestyling. He was bodying Stiz the other week.
That shit is dangerous.
What do you say you look like, Bill Burr?
So I was backstage at Comics Come Home, and Bill Burr comes out, and I'm like, hey, Bill, can I grab an interview with you real quick? And he looks at me and he's like, you ain't in the fucking media, kid. Stop it. Right? And I had like a Scully on like this, and I had like this blue jacket, and he's like, you look like a fucking longshoreman from East Boston that just snuck in the back door.
He said, you ain't
Get
in
the
the media,
fuck out
you're
of
just a
here.
fucking
Right?
longshoreman.
So I'm like laughing, whatever. And now keep in mind, bro, there's Channel 5 next to me in Nesson, and they got the cameras and the fucking...
Stiz looking like Stiz.
With the mic flags and shit, right? So finally he goes, all right, go ahead, let's do a quick interview. I take out my iPhone and he
Looking as professional
looks
as
at me,
ever.
and he's like, did you just take out a fucking iPhone? He goes, you ain't in the fucking media, kid. And then at the end of it, so then I interview him, and at the end I go, yo, Bill, can I grab a picture with you real quick? He goes, what the fuck kind of media person asks for a picture at the end of a fucking interview? He goes, you're a fucking fan that snuck in.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
I love the freestyle shit with the comedy.
That's a nightmare.
But then the kid next to me, so I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of like, oh shit. I mean, like, it was
bit.
cool, but I mean, fuck. I'm like, shit, I'm being roasted.
Getting
I'm
bodied
being
in front of Channel 5 right now.
No,
So the
but
kid next to me was like, bro, you just got roasted by the fucking king, bro. Like, you should
Exactly.
consider yourself lucky. I'm like,
That's dope though. At least it was backstage,
But he
and
did
not
it
in the front row in front of. You know what I'm saying?
He did it to the Nesson girl too. She was wearing like a dress or something. He's like, what the fuck kind of dress is that? And apparently that's what he does to media. He just fucking tortures them.
Yeah, he's nice with it.
No, there's a lot of different personalities like that. That's just like, damn. So you don't know what the relationship people have with those stories, and you're treating them like shit. You don't know that person's been in love with that story for forever.
Yeah.
I just
And you laughing with
appreciate that art form so much because I told you before. To me, there's nothing more similar to rappers, to MCs, or to battle rappers especially.
Than
When you think of the
comedians.
punchlines, than stand-up comedy.
Hell
There's
yeah.
no closer to art forms, in my opinion. Battle rap nowadays is stand-up comedy when they freestyle.
Yeah.
When the comedians freestyle, the shit is stand-up comedy only with ill rhyme schemes.
Yeah, you're
That's
right.
all it is.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Facts.
Nah, yeah.
It's dope comedic punchlines with amazing fucking rhyme schemes throughout.
That lead up to a punchline.
That lead up
to a laugh.
To like a Bill Burr type punchline, like Pat Stay, like next level punchline.
It's like a cultural laugh. It's just like it's a laugh that you have to unlock.
Yes, they make you. They take you.
I love the science of battle
rap.
rap. Battle rap is such a dope science, and I didn't really understand the world as much until I went to Miami. So in Miami there was different. It's been different.
There gotta be a
cultures.
Bunch of different leagues out there.
You know,
too.
there's like the South Beach crowd that's just like club music.
Oh, like they attack it differently?
No, there's just a club hip hop, and then there's like the indie hip hop where it's just like where it's just like lyrical, and then you have the battle shows.
It's
the
all
battle show.
legit.
That's a whole nother crowd than any kind of hip hop show.
Yeah.
And people go into it like it's like an arena, but it also taps into like gladiator shows, people fighting to the death, almost like people. I think it's a part of a human experience being able just to see people go at it, but with like words.
Oh, we love it. Yeah, we love watching.
Shout out my man Chilla Jones. We're gonna be bringing him on Stuck on Stuff real soon.
Dude.
Yeah, man. All right, man. That was great, yo, Dante. We thank you for fucking finally coming on. I know that was part of us too, but we've been trying to get you on for a little bit now. So happy we sat down with you. And I'm gonna be the biggest proponent of trying to get a Dante Luna horror movie out there, because that would just be fucking crazy.
Yeah, man.
I think like everything you've been doing is like leading towards that, and I see it.
I feel like that would be the first route I go with horror. Either horror or drama. But it's definitely gonna be emotional. What I love about horror is that it gets to you where you're the most comfortable. Like horror movies scare you because they fuck with you. You think about the possibilities of what could be or how it could happen.
Real quick, what's your favorite horror movie?
Oh, that's a good one.
And then I got one more real quick. A real quick question, we'll call it.
It's gotta be Devil's Rejects for now.
Oh yeah, that's
Zombie,
great.
right?
Yeah.
I fell in love with Rob Zombie's filmmaking, but it's just like it's hard to pick any like. I mean, who had influenced on me the most? You have Freddy Krueger and Chucky and Jason. Those are all characters you fell in love with. I even love Leprechaun. I can't even look at Leprechaun on screen. I can't look at it on screen for too long because it scares the shit out of me.
I heard Leprechaun was always a comedy movie to me.
And it was funny. When I watch it
I just
now,
thought it was
I'm
funny.
like,
Jennifer Aniston's first start,
dude.
bro. Jennifer Aniston's first
No
role, I
shit,
believe.
I didn't know that.
Mad people got their
you
starts.
put me on to
Kevin
that.
Bacon was in Friday the 13th first. Johnny Depp.
Yeah, you put me onto that shit
Bunch
before.
of people.
Another, when we go, all right, real quick, before we get off, quick for me, have you ever met CM Punk?
No.
Because I know he's done a Comic-Con or two before.
CM Punk, for me, was one of my. I put him in my top 3.
Because he's my guy, so I'm like.
It was Bret Hart, Seth Rollins, and CM Punk.
All right. And were you surprised when CM Punk came to Fox to do this shit? He's not working with WWE yet, or whatever.
See, I'm biased on that. I listen to as much CM Punk news as possible.
Me too. I'm just a huge Punk guy.
So I know Punk's stance on wrestling. So for me, it's just like if he's doing it, it's because he has full control of the scenario, and he's gonna angle it however he wants to angle it.
Yeah, like he's not gonna come back if it's an automatic Triple H buries him or some shit in a match or in general.
I honestly think as a person, he's moved on from allowing people to control his vision, and we gotta understand that that's what it was for him, that people were just in control of where he wanted to take his future.
In my opinion, though, he's not when he's being asked about it and shit. He's not like slamming the door shut. It seems like the doors are a little open there, and we're close to to Mania
Fox
season.
money is not to be fucked with. So it's
facts,
like,
and he's not technically with WWE yet, but
that's
they're tweeting his name
it's a
and
Fox
shit.
contract.
It's affiliated
that allows WWE to promote it however they want.
Here's my question.
Knows that. Yeah.
This is my ultimate thing. Entrant number 30 hits, and CM Punk comes out at the Rumble, and so we get a WrestleMania of CM Punk this year. Do you think that happens? Not the specifics of him being number 30 and all that shit, but do we get Punk at Mania this year? Nah, because CM Punk.
Because we got Kofi Kingston, and I love Kofi to death. I'm not shitting on Kofi at all. I love that run. They give the world what they want for as long as they want it. But then people go back to work. So for me, it's just like that type of idea only benefits the WWE, and I don't think it would benefit Punk in a way that.
You don't think that shit benefits fans, me and you? To see Punk back in the ill storyline if he's controlling the shit?
I think Punk is comfortable with what he's given fans. He's comfortable with the memories and with the performance. So I'm firm that he will. I know he has a relationship with the audience in some kind of way if he wants to keep performing for people, you know.
I hate your answer, but unfortunately, I probably disagree.
Yeah.
I probably agree with it. We're probably not going to see it.
I'm probably not going to see it.
But as fans, I just want to see the shit.
And me, I'm a romantic too. I don't even give myself something that I know it's not going to happen. So I don't entertain.
Well, so if it does happen,
happen,
you're going to flip your shit, right?
My shit,
You'll be watching Rumble probably.
Only because I love the Royal Rumble. It's my favorite. Yeah, I love the Royal Rumble.
All right. I mean, I need Punk. I need CM Punk back, man.
Well, Punk is amazing on the mic too, man.
Biggest pop of the last 5-10 years if he does come out though. Easily. Easily.
Yeah.
Place will flip the shit, especially if they are able to keep it a surprise. But I don't want to keep boring, you know what I'm saying, you guys to death with this virgin talk, but this shit is over, I promise.
It'd have to be the right scenario, you know? It'd have to be the right scenario.
We're halfway there, dog. He's working on Fox. Trust me, yo. Something's in the works.
See, that's why I don't think, because I think Fox is a money situation. For me, that's a money situation. For him, WWE isn't a money situation.
But Mania would be a money situation for him.
Yeah, I mean...
You know what I'm saying? You're talking $1 million, $2 million just for a match or whatever.
Yeah, I mean... But at the same time, you know, he can get $1 million, $2 million being co-signed doing anything else. You know,
that's true. We're gonna run this shit back because Royal Rumble's in January, so we'll find out sooner or later.
All right, word. Dante, where can people reach out to you, find you, look at your work, all that good stuff?
On my tombstone, it's gonna say YouTube Dante Luna.
Absolute facts. He's been on that shit forever.
That is great.
That's
YouTube,
dope.
Dante Luna.
YouTube Dante Luna. That's where I want you to find me. If you have something to say, leave it in the comments or find me there. I'll find you.
Try Harder documentary out now.
There's another documentary too.
I have a bunch of different ones, man. You just go on YouTube and check out what I'm doing my wrestling show. That'd be dope. So just jump online, just YouTube Bell Time Club or Wrestling at Fenway Park, and you'll see what we've been working on.
That's what's up.
Can I go to the next Fenway show?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Y'all can set up shop too if y'all want to.
That would be dope.
Broadcast live from Fenway.
Yeah, we love doing that shit.
Yeah, now we'll find a good spot for y'all. Y'all can do your own commentary.
We have the wrestlers come and sit for a couple minutes at a time, and we'll try to get everyone.
I'll set you up with a producer who'll feed you whoever you need.
Dope.
Ooh,
sounds dope.
Go. All right, man. Stuck on Stuff episode. What episode was this, Joe? 55. 55. That's what's up. 55.
Only 55 in and nominated for a Boston Music
Award.
That's
it, brother. We out here. Yeah.
Wait, the next time they see us, we might know if we won or not, right?
Yeah, I believe
Depending on when the Epps shop and all this shit.
Yeah, right. I believe so.
The nomination is still a heavy
nomination is dope.
That's dope.
Yeah, thank you, man.
We'll take
thank
it.
you. We appreciate it. Yeah, we'll take anything we can get at this point. Fuck it.
Reach
out to us at Stuck on Stuff on Twitter, at Stuck on Stuff Podcast on Instagram.
If you want us to host your event or show or anything like that, hit the email. What's that?
StuckOnStuffPodcast at gmail.com. Superstar Snuck will come to your grandmother's house and ask her for a shark story. Just hit him up. I am at Stiz Grimy on everything. And he's Superstar Snuck on everything.
Hold on, yo, Jules is talking to me during my Yo, Stiz, what are you?
I'm at Stiz Grimy on everything.
At Superstar Snuck on everything.
Daddy wasn't there.
Peace.